Welcome back to the show, everyone. The Big Top is in town. We've got Echo with Cirque du Soleil joining us for almost a month. And I have the privilege of having this beautiful character, otherwise known as Ethan Lottman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Happy to have you here. What a fun experience. We were just talking a little bit before we went on air. How long you've been performing this character? I'm amazed.
Yeah, so this is our ant character. We do an aerial pole number. We've been doing the show for 2 years. I've been in since creation. We started in November of 2022, building the show, and then we premiered in April of 2023.
And you've performed
705 shows.
705
We've
shows.
done the show, and I've never missed a show. Been in every single one so far.
Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations for that
Thank you.
achievement. You also have 20 years of gymnastics experience
Yes.
with the NCAA.
Yes. Yeah, so I started gymnastics at the age of 3. My parents put me in gymnastics because I had a lot of energy, and they thought it would be a good
Let's wear 'em
distraction
out a
for
little
me.
bit.
Exactly. And so I did that from age 3 until I was 22. I got a scholarship for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Did that for 4 years, and then I was actually scouted at an NCAA competition my senior year by Cirque du Soleil. And they asked me to submit video footage and dancing and acting and all of my acrobatics, and I eventually got cast in a show.
And what do you think set you apart from all the other gymnasts and competitors that you were up against?
Yeah, so I think when Cirque goes to a competition like that to look for people, they're looking for artists. Not all gymnasts are artistically gifted. They may be very gifted technically and acrobatically, but they're looking for that extra quality of, could this person learn choreography? Could they be a character? Could they do something other than gymnastics, which for men tends to be a bit rigid? So,
What did you excel in gymnastics?
I was actually a pommel horse specialist, so I did pommel horse was my big event, and then I also competed high bar and floor as well.
Okay. So on the pommel horse, how are you creating sort of this artistic element to it? Because I know that it's very structured,
Yes.
right? And so you must have to add some sort of softness to that.
Absolutely. I
would
think,
imagine.
and I think that's what Cirque saw in me.
A little finesse?
Yeah,
maybe?
there's requirements in gymnastics,
Sure.
and what I brought was maybe just a bit more elegance, maybe a bit
Right.
more grace, and
I see that in you.
thank you. It's something that I love about circus as well, is I get to continue to do the acrobatic side of it, but now I get to add character and life and a story and meaning to what I'm doing. It's not just a competition or a routine.
So it's absolutely just a natural progression and extension
Yes.
of your career.
Absolutely.
Would you have ever imagined at the age of 3, 4, 5 that this is what you'd be doing?
No, and I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and Cirque doesn't really exist there, or it didn't when I was growing up. So when I learned, I think it was in high school, I learned about Cirque du Soleil, and I thought, I would love to do that. I can't believe that's a job people get to do, and that became my goal from maybe 13, 14. I wanted to be on stage, continue my gymnastics in that way.
And how did your parents sort of coach you in that direction? Did they, or was this something that you were like totally independent? This is what I'm doing. I've got my sights set, and I'm going for it.
Yeah, I mean, they put me in gymnastics just to wear me out, tire me out, and it took off. I've never played any other sport. That took hold, and they've always been very supportive. When I said that I wanted to run away with the circus, they were fully behind that, and they've helped me achieve that goal. So I'm very fortunate.
Absolutely. Wonderful. How long has Echo been, I mean, in other words, before the show launched, how long did you have to practice this particular show, and of course all the other characters in the show, before they can actually say, okay, we're ready?
Yeah, so it took about 6 months once the artist arrived. The process goes on for years before the artist even arrive. So they had to have a plan, they had to have a concept and an idea, and then when we arrived, it's in Montreal at their headquarters. We show up, we live in a residence, kind of like a dorm. We go back and forth from the dorm rooms to the studio for 6 months. Every day you're in the studio trying new things, building an act, building a character, presenting it to the important people at Cirque du Soleil to check off or say, no, maybe we want something a little different. And so it was about 6 months of that. We perfected this before we premiered it.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever get burnt out?
Absolutely. And I was talking to someone earlier today, 705 shows. We don't really we don't really get nervous so much anymore. The big challenge now is how do we stay present? How do you bring the same fire? The audience deserves to see a great show every night. So how do you go and do the same thing every day, but make it interesting, make it exciting to yourself? Because that's when you're excited, the audience feels that.
Well, and also too, I think probably when the lights come on and you get that synergy from the excitement from the audience, because as you said, it might be their first time that they're seeing the show. And I think that feedback loop really kind of propels itself, right?
Absolutely. We love a loud audience. We love to hear the cheering. It'll take me from, I'm really tired today, but if I get on stage and the audience is loud and they're happy and they're cheering, you feel the energy.
More.
Yes, you bring it. You bring everything you have because I want to give back the energy that I'm getting from the audience.
Sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you do give to the audience. What's your character do? There's several different involvements that you have throughout the show.
So I play 2 characters for the most part in the show. This is the ant character. This is the aerial pole number. So think pole dancing, but it's not attached to the ground. It's going up in the air.
And is it vertical or is it horizontal?
Yep. It's a vertical pole, and we fly. We do. There's 6 of us on stage. We represent the rebuilding of the world. We're coming together. We're the turning point in the show. It's a very uplifting act. It's a very fun, very high energy. The other act that I do is a wall harness act. We have a giant cube on the stage. It's, I believe, 20 by 20 feet large. It moves, it comes down stage, it rotates, and so I'm in a harness doing horizontal acrobatics across the cube as it moves.
Sounds fabulous. Yeah. Wow. That kind of reminds me of one of the Cirque du Soleil shows in Vegas, where they had the stage was kind of rotating in the water.
Yes.
It's been a few years since I've seen it, but that's kind of what I remember.
Yeah, but we don't have the capability of having super crazy stage sets in the big top, but I think the cube is quite special and quite impressive to have such a large set piece that moves, comes apart, it changes throughout the entire show. I mean, it really takes up a huge part of the tent. It's very impressive.
Was there any assignment that you were given where you're like, that makes me a little nervous?
Yeah, I mean, you never know at the beginning. The director has a vision, and sometimes it's hard to see that vision. There's things where you went like, of course I know how that's gonna work. I'm gonna knock that out of the park.
Right.
There's things that we worked on that I thought, I don't know if that will ever be cool. I don't know if that's gonna be a nice addition, but when we premiered, there's some of these numbers that we did for the first time in front of an audience, and when they got applause and people stood and people clapped, brought a tear to my eye because I'm like, I didn't know.
Wow. Ethan, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you all the luck in your upcoming shows.
Thank you so much.
All right, Cirque du Soleil runs from May 23rd to June 29th. Everybody get your tickets.